Hi, you guys. It's Monday, January 25th, and I wanted to do a collective reading today, specifically for the anti-capitalist artists and mystics. And I'm getting called to read in a really interesting way today that I don't usually read. I was called just to flip this chunk of the deck over and just read them off of the top as I go rather than laying out a spread and seeing everything first. So we're going to see how this goes. If you feel called to stay, please do. Get rooted in your seat. Take a deep breath. And let's see what we have. So today, I already said who I was reading for, but a little more color to that would be that I'm looking at the way today that we are going back to things that we have previously left and assessing the nature in our lives. Are they fulfilling? Could they be still, even though we may have walked away from them before? Do they have a different value now? And it's sort of also like a confrontation, almost like a grief that, at the time we had to walk away to go find a higher fulfillment and, kind of different emotional needs, maybe different relationships or different situations. And at the time we weren't really able to fully confront our grief about certain other things. And so now we're sort of going back. It could be emotions, but it could also be like very material things. I don't know, maybe you have to go back to a place or like a home or like a financial situation or kind of more like brass tacks, material things and deal with them on a more logistical level, but it still brings up like the grief, like the way that the reason you weren't able to deal with them before is because they were quite emotionally loaded. Why this is important right now is because, well, quite frankly, there's an emotional cycle we're rounding out. We have the 8 and the 9, one right after the other of cups, which is all about emotion. I'm really getting like relationships, but relationships as they relate to our own sense of self-worth and our own sense of accomplishment, and sort of the visions of fulfillment and joy that we have for ourselves. And I think that in dealing with some of these sort of remaining things that we had to leave behind before for whatever reason, there's sort of like we didn't think we could deal with it before and now we can. And so like in that process, there's like a solidifying of our achievement and of the way that we are able to deal with those things and take care of ourselves. But why is this important right now? This is important right now in order to purge concepts of the way that resources need to be difficult. I think we're moving into a new cycle of ease, which is like a weird thing to say when you understand what's going on collectively. But this also makes sense in specifically speaking to people with anti-capitalist ideologies. I think, we live under capitalism mainly, and we live under late-stage capitalism or end-stage capitalism. And for those of us that don't agree with that way of living and may have spent a lot of time and energy seeking different ways and actually experiencing a lot of resource-based hardship in order to develop those ideologies. You know, if the system's working for us, we're not confronted with the alchemy of figuring out what else there is, what else there could be, what ways there could be better. And I think that is ingrained in a lot of us, a lot of thinking that it will always be hard. And weirdly, for reasons I cannot explain to you because they don't make logical sense, but I'm just the messenger, there's something about us knowing it doesn't have to be this difficult to get resource that is part of this moment and the cycle that we are shifting through. I think in order to usher this new age kind of collectively. And there's just a greater trust in our emotions, and also like inviting our emotions, but like what we know in our gut and our intuition and our sense of purpose and self into our relationships with people that are the beginnings of the ways that we are systemizing. I'm getting a sense of like, I don't know if Venus is already retrograde or is about to be, but there's going to be something related to Venus retrograde where we are really contemplating and confronting new systems of morality that are, and the ways that we use morality in a way that is, it just feels good in our bodies. Like, that's what we're going to be guided by. And I say body, but like our bodies reflect our emotions and our intuition. And I know for me, that's been an access point, like of being able to hear intuitive information. Some people can hear, some people are clairvoyant. They can see all these different things. I am clairsentient and claircognizant, so I can feel things somatically. And that can be an access point for other people too. So it's that kind of thing that is really becoming solidified between us and our immediate relationships and decisions, so that they can be established and then eventually greater systemized. I'm going to flip the deck over now. Yeah, I mean, this sometimes the cards are just so on the nose. The systems have been imbalanced for a really long time, but also we've let them be. Sorry, but it's true. We have let them be. And I'm just getting a really big sense of self-responsibility for the ways that we have let them be, that we need to be confronting right now. We've let them be hard. We've let it be hard for a really long time. You know, it's funny because I talk to a lot of people about feeling like they've been in a pause moment for longer than they would like over holiday break. And I get the sense that we are not in that anymore. We are actually in this, we are in the movement. Things are flowing, but we have this new awareness as well around these issues. And it's almost like we have like begged and prayed for things to start moving. We've begged and prayed for things to be better. And now it's almost like we have everything we need. We've been through this period of pause where we've gotten this higher level awareness, these insights, and now we have to put them into use. And it's almost like we're being little babies about it. Like, like, we just have to do the work, you know, and we have to start with ourselves. And I think this message is a lot about the ways that we, you know, talk so much about the collective and about the things we want to see in the collective. But when it comes down to actually, you know, acknowledging that we have all of that wisdom ourselves, and we actually have to embody that fully in our own lives. And actually, embodiment is the only way. Embodiment is the biggest teacher. Oh! Knocking the camera over as I say that. Embodiment is the biggest teacher, and it means that we can't leave the job undone, right? And this is a very emotional process. We have 8, 9 of Cups and the Queen of Cups here, and then Hanged Man, which is water as well. And we can't want all of these huge changes, want all of these things to change, and yet be leaving our own fulfillment only partially done, and our cups only partially filled, and our self-trust only partially there, and our own sense of fulfillment only partially there. We have to fully deal with these issues of imbalance and lack of fulfillment and the heartbreak that we've experienced because of them. And a lot of this is calling us into a greater connection with our hearts and with our emotions. We think it comes through a system. We think the system's just going to exist and be different. It's not. And we think the process is very logical. But in the Justice card, we're balancing the heart with the mind. We are balancing. There's, you know, the scales are connected to Venus. They're connected to our sense of morality. There are moral codes that seek to be reset and rewired, that are based in our emotions first and foremost. And so, you know, some of the smartest people are still not connected to their heart and to their emotions. And we are not living in a world where you can just rationalize your way out of a situation. If it was, it would be quite easy. We are grounding in new ways, new practices, grounded practices, and new relationships with the land. I mean, literally planting new seeds that are more harmonious with the land, that are more harmonious with our heart, that are more harmonious with what we know to be true in our bodies. Try things out, see what works for you, and feel your feelings along the way. I hope this helps. Have a great day.